Hello and welcome to this tiny course on the invented language Invish. It's called Invish because it's invented and it's kind of like English, but as you're going to see, there's a lot of influences from other language in this language as well. So I'm glad you decided to learn Invish, and I'm glad you chose this tiny course, which I think is going to be the most direct way for you to begin speaking Invish, communicating, conversing, expressing your own thoughts in Invish without having to do a lot of extra studying. So let's jump right into it. In the language Invish, if you want to say I, you say ma. So I, Tony, am is the way that I would say I am Tony, right? Who's Tony? Hey, who's Tony? Raise your... Hey, oh, I'm Tony. You know how the context would be? Ma Tony am. Okay? Can you switch out your name? If your name's Susanna, could you say Ma Susanna am? Or Ma Cass am? Or Ma Horacio am? And so on. Even better, could you grab a notebook right now? I got my notebook right here. Could you grab your notebook right now? You can pause the video. It's not going anywhere. Push pause. Grab a notebook. Scrap paper's fine for now. But ultimately, it would be best if you had a dedicated notebook only for this course. Only for Invish. Okay? So if I said, can you please write a translation for what I say? I'm going to say, I, Tony, am. Or you can use your name. So I, Susanna, am. Without looking, what if I took it away and quizzed you, right? So now pause the video and write down what you should write down. I'm doing it too. Ma Tony Ma Tony am. Can you imagine yourself using that? Could you call a friend, phone a friend already, and surprise them that you too speak Invish? All right. Ma, say it with me. Ma Chicago Day. So it's interesting to notice this. In Invish, we don't use prepositions. You use what's called postpositions. Some other languages, Hindi does that. Probably others do too. So instead of saying I from Chicago am, you're going to say I Chicago from am. Okay? I'm going to my notebook right now. Ma Chicago Day. Can you write your own? Can you say Ma, Greenville, South Carolina Day? Right? Say Ma, New York Day. Ma, Bogota, Colombia Day. Get it? Later on, we're going to come over here. I'm going to quiz you. I'm going to ask you a question. But for now, let's just sort of establish the first person, the statements here. Column 1 is statements, okay? Look, the word ustad means teacher. So I, teacher, am is going to be ma ustad am. Now, as we know, all teachers are students, and all students are potential teachers. So one of the interesting things about the Invish language is that the word ustad also means student. It means student and teacher. It's an interesting cultural thing that goes way back in the culture of the Invish speakers. All right. Ma ustad. So this is true for you too. You are a student, at least of Invish. So say ma ustad. Go to the notebook. Ma ustad. And then one more statement for you. Say ma spreker ustad am. So what kind of teacher do you think we're saying? Or student/teacher, ustad. You can say it, you can practice with me to say ustad, right? So what kind of teacher? Spreker. Oh, what's that? Speaker, speak, language? Language. I, language teacher, am. I, language student, am. That's how it works. So, ma spreker ustad. Okay? You could pause the video now. You could look in your note. You could close the notebook too. Close your eyes. And I want to know, can you say this? Can you say, hello, ma Tony am, Ma Chicago de Ma ustad Ma sprecher ustad Can you do that? You can do it now. Pause the video, close your eyes, and see if you can introduce yourself in Inish. We're going to come over to column 2. Ma becomes da. What is da? Da is second person. It means you. Okay? Switch out your name. I want to know, hi, are you John? You know, like I'm looking for someone named John. Are you John? Literally, you, John, are. Okay, so becomes ast in second person. So da, John, ast. And if yes, you say we. We means yes, no means no. Okay, so we what? Say, yeah, I am John. See, we. Ma, John. Oh, you are John? Da, John, ast. Ask me. Actually, next writing activity. Pause the video. I want you to say, you, Tony, are. Go to the notebook. Da, Tony, ast. And I'm going to say we. Ma, Tony, Okay. You want to know you, Chicago from. Remember Chicago from. Da, Chicago de ast. Go to the notebook. You could change out the question. You could say New York. All right. So go to the notebook. Say, are you from New York? Say da New York de ast. Okay. Same thing. Da ustad ast. And finally, da sprecher ustad ast. So let me ask you a question. Da sprecher ustad ast. Remember what it means. The answer is yes. Da sprecher ustad ast. Can you write an answer to that question in your notebook right now? Pause the video. Refill your coffee cup. You should have said we. Ma sprecher ustad Okay. Inish is a very direct language. We don't say how are you called or what is the name of the generous brother or anything flowery or lavish like that. It's a very direct language. We literally say who you are. That's it. You say who you are. Ki da ast. Not sure what's going on there. Ki da ast. Ki is who. Da is you. Ast is you are, right? So who you are. Ki da ast. Ask me. You can write it down. You can write this down. You can say ki da ast. And under that, write ma Tony or your own name. So if I ask you ki da ast, you say ma Tony Okay? Where is dove? We say where from, because remember postpositions, Chicago from. So therefore, where from? Where from you are. Almost got some early modern English sound to it or something. Wherefore are, dove de da ast. Right? Try it out loud. Say dove de da ast. Dove. Dove de. Group those in your mind. Go dove de. Where, from where? Where from? Da, point at me, da ast. Dove de da ast. Take a second, pause, take your time. Go to the notebook. Dove de da ast. How do you answer that? Ask me. Say, Tony, dove de da ast. Ma Chicago de And finally, cosa means what. Da means you. Fast means you do. It's the verb do. So, what you do life of. But you don't. So it's like saying what you do of life. But remember, in English, we don't say of life. We say life of. Postposition. So de comes at the end. Cosa da fast vita de. Take your time. Go to the notebook. Cosa da fast vita de. Are you a teacher, student? Da ustad ast? Oui. Man ustad Are you a Language teacher student. Das sprecher ustad ast. I'm going to say oui. Maar sprecher ustad am. What about you? Are you a language teacher student? Da sprecher ustad ast. Das sprecher ustad ast. You say oui. Maar sprecher ustad am. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. Here's the deal. Over the next couple minutes, hours, days, weeks, however long it takes, you got to hold yourself accountable to mainly these 3 questions, okay? So I want to be able to come next time and ask you, out of the blue, like you're not even, this is the warm-up. I say, ki da ast? I say, dove de da ast? Cosa da fast vita te? Sorry, cosa da fast vita de? And you got to be ready. So use your notebook to practice with yourself. Even better if you can find other English speakers. I mean, there's apps. You can go on apps. Strike up a conversation with someone. Go out, see if anyone in your city speaks English too. You know what I mean? Like find a meetup group. Best thing possible is real people. But if you don't have a real person, which you don't always, which I understand, use the notebook. Be your own practice partner. See if you can quiz yourself in writing. You could even make flashcards out of your top 3 questions, right? Just write the question on one side, maybe an answer or 2 on the other side, and then pull a card. Pull the cards at random and kind of quiz yourself on how well you can answer those questions. All right, so that's English lesson number 1. And I will look forward to the next lesson when we build the next questions that we're going to need to fill out this whole English puzzle. Okay? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.